Hello, this is John Paval with Access Arts Live for this week's roundup of organ and organ recital live streams. It's a kind of a light week. This is not a heavy hitting week, but we do have most of our routine live streams going on. Some of them, unfortunately, are not. The Riverside Church with its 12,000 pipe organ is down in terms of live streaming for a while. But we have plenty to tell you about. So before we get started, let me remind you, if you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button for the video. If you're watching on YouTube, click subscribe beneath the video. And if you're watching us on our other 4 platforms, please don't just like the video. We appreciate that many of you do, but like us and follow or subscribe to Access Arts Live on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Threads. And in return, we promise we'll get you more than 1,000 live links to live performances online in 2025. We're already well on the way to doing so. And that will include these weekly roundups of organ recitals and reminders, sometimes daily reminders of the most interesting ones. So let's get to it. Because the first is already coming up a little bit later today in a couple hours' time. Tuesday, March 11th, St. James Cathedral, Toronto, live streams young Michael Pirri, music coordinator at St. Aidans in the Beach, Toronto, to its weekly organ recital live stream at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Yes, that's right. I believe that Canada has gone on daylight savings time along with the United States. So that should be at 6 in the evening European time and 10 in the morning on the West Coast. We don't know what he's going to be playing. They never tell us what the program is in many of these weekly live streams. Michael Pirri, St. Aidans in the beach. There's a beach. Toronto has a beach, and there's a church down near there, the lucky guy. Summertime, I'm sure he has a great time. Before he became the music coordinator at St. Aidans, he was at one time organ scholar at St. Martin in the Fields Church in Toronto. He's also chair of the Toronto chapter of the Royal School of Church Music Canada. And he just finished up his Master's of Sacred Music at the University of Toronto. So he's a relatively young guy. And most of this week's organ recitalists are relatively young. The organ there, I'll remind you, and we give you the link to the detailed specs, is 87 rank, 67 speaking stops over 4 manuals and 6 divisions, 5,101 pipes, entirely rebuilt in 1976 by L.I. Phelps and Associates. Well, we got through the first one all right, didn't we? Now let's move on to the next is really 2. I have to do it because it's these almost simultaneous live streams, one at 1 in the afternoon and one at 1:10 in the afternoon, UK time. And they're the 2 lovely young organists that you have available to you tomorrow, Wednesday. This Wednesday, March 12th, the almost simultaneous live stream organ recitals from Temple Church London and Glasgow University Chapel bring us 2 up-and-coming organists determined to make the instrument more widely appreciated, Holly Broadbent and Matt Walters. The first of these is Holly Broadbent. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that as Broadband just a moment ago. This will be on Wednesday at 1 o'clock UK time, 2 o'clock in the afternoon European time, 9 in the morning on the East Coast, 6 in the morning on the West Coast, and midnight down under in Australia, which is important because Holly is from Perth in Western Australia, which incidentally I've always dreamed of going to. I just imagine the beaches there are lovely. I imagine they're like the beaches in LA where I used to live. But anyway, she got her undergraduate degree in composition and teaching from the University of Western Australia, and then another degree, an honors degree in organ from the Edith Cowan University down there. Held an organ post at St. George's Cathedral while she was still there, and then worked with Juilliard organ professor Paul Jacobs at the Oregon Bach Festival. We don't know what she's going to be playing. But looking over interviews that she had done and all of that, she has a real passion for making the organ more widely appreciated, more popular. But she has sort of a scholarly way of talking about it, which will contrast with the next organist I'm going to tell you about. She'll refer to something to the technical name of some organ piece from the 18th century or something, and to sort of toss it off as if, see, this would be really interesting to people. And I'm not sure how much that kind of knowledge or music will be interesting to people, but I think it's terrific that she has this enthusiasm and passion for the instrument. The organ there at at Temple Church, London, is a Harrison and Harrison limited organ, which was carted down from Scotland in 1954. It's a 4-manual organ with 3 32-foot stops, so it has some bass power to it. It was originally built for a ballroom in 1927, and the inaugural recital was given by the legendary Marcel Dupré from France. It was completely overhauled in about 10 years ago by Harrison and Harrison in their Durham workshop. Now, then coming up right after that, or at the same time, 10 minutes later, is Matt Walters, who is much more of a local product, studied classics at Homerton College, Cambridge, where he also had an organ scholarship, and he's also a composer. But he has compositions which are very classical, like preludes and things. But he has more cinematic pieces that he's composed too. And the other thing is he's very ambitious about getting followers online. In particular, I think on the name is escaping me now. What is that other? We're on Instagram and elsewhere. He's got tens of thousands of followers, where he goes around under the name of Reductio, Reductio, and does things like pop fusion organ tours. So, and that organ, it's Henry Willis III organ, built in 1927, and back about 20 years ago, refurbished again entirely by Harrison and Harrison of Durham. So that's what you have available to you on Wednesday. Which of these ambitious, young, up-and-coming organists do you want to enjoy? Or switch up and back and enjoy them both? Or have one on your phone and one on your computer? I don't know. Now we move on to the next live stream that I want to tell you about, but it's still on Wednesday. So there are 3 different ones that you can enjoy on Wednesday. Yeah. Okay, here's the next one. There you see that photo of Ksenia and Evgeny Avramenko. They are husband and wife for the last 20 years or so, and I think they may be a little older than those photos look. Let me do a proper announcement of this for you. Baroque, flute, and organ enthusiasts may all find something they like in Art Benny's live stream of the Cathedral in Moscow's concert, Magnificent Baroque, for organ and flute, Wednesday, March 12th at 6 p.m. European time. So about 5 hours after the live streams coming out of Glasgow and Temple Church, London, you can enjoy a more complex concerts. They're always doing more complex concerts at the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow, very often mixing together things you don't expect to hear, like the organ and the trumpet or something like that. Or anyway, this is a couple, Evgeny Avramenko. He is the resident organist at the cathedral in Kaliningrad, and Ksenia studied flute at Nizhny Novgorod Conservatory. They both live there. She's, an active working musician. They're going to be doing several pieces by Johann Sebastian Bach, a toccata, a sonata, a concerto Siciliana. Then they'll do the Hamburg Sonata by Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach. They'll do a partita by Domenico Zippoli, 1688 to 1726, if you don't know him. This is all Baroque stuff. a rondo by Jean-Philippe Rameau, and then they're back to doing more pieces by Bach, pieces like Ich ruf zu dir, Herr Jesu Christ, I love you, Lord Jesus Christ, etc. So, and they will finish up with Antonio Vivaldi's Concerto in G Major, Opus 10, Number 4. That's a heck of a concert. I think it's about a 90-minute concert. So this is above and beyond these weekly organ recitals. But there are always, in these Catholic Cathedral in Moscow organ concerts, there are always portions of it which are pure organ recitals. And we are now able to give you, it will be in the, it'll be with the link that we give you for in the description. That we give the links for all of these live streams to tell you about. We now can link you to the organ specs. It's a Kuhn, Kuhn organ, which was originally built in Switzerland. The Kuhn Orgelbau is in Switzerland. It was built for a Protestant Reformed church there, and they donated it to the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow in 2002, and it was transported there piece by piece. That's a whole story. I'm not going to go further into it today because we have a couple more live streams for me to talk about for you. But I'll tell you a little bit about it. When they there was one the largest pipe, which I think was a 32-foot pipe, did not get transported to Moscow, but within a decade they had built an identical replica of it to put in with the organ. So it has a little bit of bass power. Also, the organ company which installed the organ in Moscow did it free of charge. And very sadly, the owner of the company fell from some scaffolding during the installation process and died. I mean, he gave his life for bringing this music to Moscow. And his son, who was also in the business, continued and finished the job. Very sad. Anyway, I think this to me, this sounds like a lovely concert, and especially for Baroque enthusiasts. I mean, we will send a separate clip about this both to organ lovers groups on Facebook, but also to Baroque and early music enthusiasts. I think it'll be great. We have two more. Hello to everybody out there that's watching online, and do feel free to send us a little comment on whichever platform you're watching us. Supposedly, we live stream using Restream. So supposedly, I should be able to see any comments that anybody makes in any of the chats on any of the platforms. So we're live on 4 of them. We're live on this is live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X. And it's not live on our other 2 platforms, TikTok and Threads, because it's too complicated to get live streamed onto them. Anyway, there's a photo of Canon Martin Green. As I'm always fond of saying, Canon Martin Green is one of the most articulate and engaging organists I know of when it comes to explaining what he is playing and why in terms which do not leave us behind in a cloud of musicological dust. He'll be live streaming as usual this Friday at 1 in the afternoon Pacific Daylight Time, which will be 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Eastern Daylight Time, which will be 9 in the evening here in Europe, where I'm live streaming from. He has won awards in the past and appeared repeatedly on NPR's Pipe Dreams Live. The organ that he plays there, it was originally, it has a long story. It's one of the oldest ones in the San Diego area. Rebuilt in 1969 by Aeolian Skinner, Opus 1495, but then rebuilt again entirely in 2012 by Quimby Pipe Organs, Opus 68. 4 manuals, 98 stops, 86 ranks, 4,933 pipes. And no, I don't know what he's playing, but he always puts together a lovely selection of earlier music from the 19th century or the earlier 20th century, American composers, European composers, and he plays them very well. And there's a nice little, looks like about a 10-year-old boy that helps him, who I think may be his son. Anyway, that's if you have time, lunchtime on the West Coast, or late afternoon on the East Coast, or in your Friday evening in Europe, it's always a lovely time to tune in and enjoy Canon Martin Green at St. Paul's Cathedral in San Diego. And I think that leaves us in this light week with only one more. Who do I have to talk? Yeah, with only one more organist to tell you about, one more organ recital, which I think would also be an interesting one. But oops, I didn't want to try to upload the image, and it blocked the image for a second. Let's see if I can get Songyeon Im on screen for you. There she is. There, that's Songyeon Im. Nope. I have one more photo of her, which may work, but it's not a photo of her at the actual keyboard. I had a photo of her that I was going to put up for you at the keyboard, the 5-manual keyboard at the St. Eustache Church. So, but let me announce this one. St. Eustache Church continues its practice of bringing in one of resident organist Thomas Ospital's prize students from the Paris Conservatory this Sunday, March 16th. It's Songyeon Im from Korea. That will be at the usual time of 5 in the evening, European time. St. Eustache Church is in the heart of Paris, which will be noon Eastern Daylight Time and 9 in the morning Pacific Daylight Time. She'll be playing L'Enfant Noir, the Black Infant, Opus 17, by Jean-Louis Florence, who was 20th century composer, died in 2004. Then she'll play Maurice Duruflé's Suite for Organ, Opus 5. And that's what she's playing. The two of those will come out to be, I think, almost an hour. Although I'm not totally sure of the exact time, but 45 minutes to an hour, I think. The organ that she gets to play, look, if you want to know everything about that organ, we will give you the link to it again. I did about a 35-minute live stream interview with Thomas Ospital, one of the resident organists at St. Eustache a few weeks ago, and it's up on our YouTube page in a category called something like All-Star Interviews, or Interviews with All-Star Content Creators. He was the first in a lineup. I'm hoping that I'll be able to do that with others in the future, so you can get to know about different outlets and channels and what their goals are, and you know what they're trying to do and what you can expect from them in the future. But anyway, so we have that up on our YouTube page, and he goes in detail through what they need to do to renovate this organ. He talks a lot comparing different organs in different Paris churches, especially in terms of the architecture of the churches, which was something I wasn't that familiar with. And it's a really great interview. The sound isn't the greatest because I had to do it on the phone to do it on site, but I think it's all understandable, and it's a good time. Anyway, that Den Heuvel organ that she gets to play has 101 stops, 5 manuals, and 7,952 pipes. It's just about the same size as the one at Notre Dame Cathedral, but the St. Eustache Cathedral is not as long. It's a shorter cathedral, and it has higher ceilings in different parts, which create a sort of immersive sound. And I think that even comes through on the live stream. But in any event, if you watch the live stream, one thing you get, and they have hundreds of people that come for this. Some of these live streams at these huge cathedrals that I tell you about every week, there'll be maybe 12, 15 people at the live stream. No. St. Eustache Church, it's 200-300 people, standing room only, every Sunday, and it will be that way for Songyeon Kim. Even though she's not one of the resident organists or a star organist, she's a student. But they'll all be there because they love it. Anyway, she was born in South Korea in 1999, so she's about 25 years old. She studied at the Korean National University of Arts, won honors, graduating from it. And a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, she joined the National Conservatory in Paris to study under Olivier Latry and Thomas Ospital. And apparently they're very happy with her. And so she's getting her moment playing this magnificent organ. That organ, along with the one at the Notre Dame Cathedral, with almost 8,000 pipes, that they're a step above most organs in the world. You've got to get to a place like the Riverside Church with 12,000 pipes to outclass them. Anyway, that's what we have for you this week. Let me remind you before leaving you, please, if you're enjoying this video on Facebook, like the video. If you're enjoying it on YouTube, then subscribe to us on YouTube. And if you're enjoying the video on our other 4 platforms, we love it when you say that you like the videos, but we'd love it even more if you would follow us or subscribe to us on those other platforms: X, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. That's what I have for you for this week. I hope that one or more of these live streams is enjoyable for you, inspires you, uplifts you, or just gives you a heck of a good time. And again, we welcome comments. If I say anything wrong, I'm happy to hear from you saying, John, you got this wrong, you got that wrong. I'm not a musicologist. I am a performing artist who is passionate about making sure that as many people as possible know about these wonderful moments of truth and beauty created by artists in the moment for the in-person audiences and for you, the live stream audience, as well. Have a good week. I'll be back in about an hour with the live stream for chamber music concerts going on this week as well. Ciao for now.